Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Sports. Heartbreak for England with a late Mark TELEA try. The difference, New Zealand winning 24 points to 22. England had all the chances in the final 5 minutes. They had a penalty which George Ford actually hit the post, came down, then knocked down by Patrick Tupolotta, a couple of phases, and the attempted drop goal just not on target from George Ford, who could have gone from, zero to hero because it was his missed tackle that allowed Mark TELEA to score that late try. But a game where England will be absolutely kicking themselves with not having won. And New Zealand, well, maybe this is a big turning point because they did score points in the final 10 minutes to take back that lead and eventually give them the win. But again, England had all the chance in the world to try and win that game. So it'll be a very, very frustrated Steve Borthwick. But before we go through the game, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. It was a decent start, actually. England took the lead after 4 minutes, but it was short-lived with Mark TELEA going down over the line for his first try after 8 minutes. Just squared up, basically, Ellis Genge, and you're never going to be able to stop him from that kind of distance when it's a prop on a wing sort of situation. But England stuck with it. Marcus Smith added another couple extra points in the 12th minute to make it 6 points to 7 before Will Jordan completed a very good try. Once again, Ellis Genge, unfortunately, finding a complete mismatch. There was a 3-on-2 situation. Bowden Barrett shifted to the left and then brought in Will Jordan, is coming on a different angle, completely wrong-footed Ellis Genge, and had the pace to go through. Marcus Smith then added 2 additional penalties. Actually, Smith and Spencer in the 30th and the 36th minute to make it 12 points to 14 at half time. A very interesting half where both teams with ball in hand looked quite promising, but New Zealand far too many basic errors, and I think that's going to be something that Scott Robertson is going to have to address because they probably should have won. I mean, they did win the game, but they probably should have lost it with some of the errors and the way they kind of played throughout that game. And the important thing for England was to start well in the second half. They did just that. Cortez Ratimus give a bit of a 50-50 pass, and Emmanuel Ferrer-Bosa eventually finished. It was brilliant work, though, from Marcus Smith, who had a very strong game. He was the one that read the intercept, and he just watched for options, kept the options open, eventually long pass out wide to, I think it was Furbank, and then popped it up to Ferrer-Bosa, and poor Will Jordan, who was desperately trying to reel them in, never had a chance. And then back-to-back penalties, Marcus Smith adding the extras for the conversion, and then a penalty there to make it 22 points to 14. 8 points, 20 minutes to go. A margin which New Zealand have really struggled with in this year. But Dave McKenzie came on, got an early penalty in the 66th minute just after coming on, and Mark TELEA, and again, you cannot allow him to score from that distance. Him one-on-one with George Ford has the strength to basically hold off George Ford. He gets over the line. Dave McKenzie splits the poles, and all of a sudden it's 24 points to 22. But England actually win the kickoff. So with 2.5 minutes to go, England are in possession. Antonio Brown then gets a yellow card. 2 actual incidents. First of all, a head clash with Theo Dan before he also then tackled somebody without the ball and got a yellow card. Down to 14 men, penalty with 2 minutes to go. George Ford hits the post. It comes down. Patrick Tupolotta takes it, then knocks it on, gives England that opportunity to scrum. They keep possession from the scrum, but eventually when they try to set the drop goal, the eventual pass probably wasn't the best, if you're brutally honest. Give him his due to George Ford, who then just slightly pushed it to the right, and New Zealand win by an absolute feather, really. If we look at some of the stats, interesting stats, really. Possession, pretty one-sided. It was 57% for New Zealand, despite the fact that England had 65% in the last 10 minutes. I think game management will be something England will look at that game, in terms of how they manage that final sort of period. Territory is pretty even, though, to be fair. If we look at set pieces, New Zealand with a 100% scrum record. England got a couple of early tries, but I thought that New Zealand scrum got better and better as the game went by. The New Zealand line wasn't phenomenal. England operated 100%. But if you look at on the attack, quite similar stats. New Zealand characteristically more post-contact meters, more passes, more line breaks, for example, but also conceding more penalties. So discipline continues to be a bit of an issue. In terms of some individual performances, what a Satiti, what a player. Man of the match, but just so good. And, cannot wait to see what the power play is going to become. He carries well with ball in hand. He's great tackling, really good over the ball, good skill set as well. I thought Marcus Smith stepped up today and played really well as well. So I think that he's very much maturing as a player. So keen to see how that continues to evolve as well. Ben Earl, as expected, sort of tops the carry charts. But Wallace Atiti with 16 carries, 3 line breaks. Was all over the place. And defensively, Ollie Lawrence and George Martin putting a big shift in, as well as Ben Earl. But Ollie Lawrence in the centres, 22 tackles made. Big shift from him. A game that England probably should have won. It didn't, though. Back to the drawing board for Steve Borthwick. What did you think of the game? Let me know down in the comments below. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon.